The Big Picture of Drug and Alcohol-Induced Driving, Part 2. The first breathalyzer test, as we know it now, was created in 1936. The aptly titled drunkometer consisted of a balloon containing a chemical solution that, when a drunk person blew into it, would change color. How much alcohol was in their blood was revealed by the intensity of the ensuing hue. In comparison to the breathalyzer we are familiar with today, it was a rudimentary and imprecise test. Breathalyzer tests were regular equipment for law enforcement patrols by 1954. With the use of this cutting-edge technology, police officers now have a portable, precise, and non-invasive means to measure a person's blood alcohol content. The government was entrusted with establishing a maximum BAC limit above which a motorist might be charged with operating a vehicle while intoxicated. This was done now that BACs could be correctly checked. Sadly, the BAC limit was first set at 0.15% due to a lack of knowledge and research in the area of drunkenness. We now know that blood alcohol levels far lower than this significantly affect one's ability to drive. As a result, the new regulation had minimal impact on reducing fatal road accidents and alcohol-related collisions. Alcohol impairment became a bigger issue, and by 1982, it was a factor in around 60% of all fatal accidents. In the struggle against drunk driving, grassroots action organizations started to emerge throughout the 1970s and 1980s. In recognition of the fact that teenagers and young people made up a substantial share of alcohol-impaired traffic deaths, organizations like Remove Intoxicated Drivers, RID, and Mothers Against Drunk Driving, MADD, focused in particular on the issue of underage drinking. The National Minimum Drinking Age Act was adopted in 1984 in part as a result of their deed. The minimum age to purchase and possess alcohol was raised from 18 to 21 in all 50 states. Although the state governments were under no need to enact the law, they decided to do so when the federal government threatened to cut their funding for highways by 10% if they didn't. By 1988, the legal drinking age had been raised to 21 in all 50 states plus the District of Columbia. Since the 1990s, every state has enacted a zero-tolerance statute that makes it possible for young drivers to be prosecuted with DUI if they are discovered to be intoxicated at any level while operating a car. The federal government established an incentive grant in 1998, and as a result, the legal BAC level was reduced from 0.15% to 0.08% in 2000. Within 5 years, the 0.08% drink drive restriction had been enacted in all 50 states and the District of Columbia. At BACs lower than 0.08%, alcohol impairment is still conceivable, and a DUI charge is still feasible. However, the number of alcohol-related road accidents across the nation decreased as a result of the new, tighter restriction almost immediately. In the year after the new restriction was passed, the number of fatalities nationwide due to drunk driving reduced by around 20%, and they have been largely consistent since then. Utah recently approved lowering its legal blood alcohol content, BAC, level to 0.05% in an effort to reduce the number of deadly drunk driving accidents. Other states might opt to follow suit, depending on how this shift is represented in DUI statistics over the following few years. Ultimately, raising driver awareness is the most efficient strategy to combat drunk driving. You are more likely to play it safe and leave your keys at home if you are fully aware of the potentially disastrous effects of driving while intoxicated.